Let me first off start by saying that this story right here is probably going to be one of the most disturbing and disgusting stories that you will hear on my channel all year. And I mean just that. I know I say that quite a lot, but this one right here, I actually do mean it. So you have this man right here whose name is Jason Pope, and he has to be one of the most deplorable people on not just this establishment, but in the world for the acts in which he did. But I can't put all of the blame on him, at least on one part of the acts in which he's done. Now, if you've watched Tariq's latest live stream that he did, well, by the time you see this video, he may have done another one since then. But he recently did one talking about this guy, Jason Pope. He is a DJ. They call him DJ Kid, and he's out of Florence, South Carolina. Now, ironically, I just came back from my homecoming, which was in Columbia, South Carolina. And to get to Columbia, you have to go past Florence. You don't have to go through it, but you just have to go past it. So I am familiar with Florence, South Carolina. And this guy right here has done some of the most unspeakable things that is worthy enough of him getting, let's just say, getting him quote unquote eliminated. If he got street justice, it would be well deserved on one aspect of it, though. On the other aspect, let's say these individuals brought this on themselves. So I'm going to talk about the first part involving this individual right quick. Black women, I have to call y'all to the carpet yet again, because this right here is uncalled for. And this one, you have to really hold yourselves accountable for your actions. So this man actually has what I call the gift that keeps on giving. And he definitely let it be known that he was going to keep on giving this gift. This man actually has an STD. He does. He has HIV, or he has AIDS. It's one of the two things that he has. One of them. He has an STD. This man knowingly slept with over 600 black women and infected all of them with HIV. Now, the reason why I said I have to call black women to the carpet on this one is because this one solely is on you, on the fact that you did not check this man's background. You did not check to see what this man was engaged in. DJs are some of the most popular people in any club. They are the ones that keep the party going because they are in control of the music and they have their pick of the litter when it comes to women in particular, if it is a male DJ. So they are practically having women throw themselves at them at all angles. I have seen pictures that this guy has posted up on various social media. I saw Pharaoh Speaks do a video where it was pictures of him where black women had their ass cheeks in the back. It looked like a 2 Live Crew album cover. That's exactly what it looked like. That's the best thing I could compare it to, where he's standing back there, their butts are in the air, and he's like leaning over them like it's a smorgasbord of scattered ass just everywhere and lined up in a row. And this guy has been knowingly giving these women HIV, over 600 black women. Now, I have done a couple of videos over this year where black women have been showing that many of them are not only reckless when it comes to dating, but they're reckless when it comes apparently to who they fuck. Let me give you a little bit of a rundown right quick. I did a video about a black man earlier this year, I believe it was in April, where he pretty much did the same exact thing that this guy did, and all his victims were black women. There was another incident where this guy out of Georgia was going around tricking these women and scamming them out of their money just so he could, because he was taking advantage of their loneliness, and he literally made thousands of dollars off of them. All of his victims were black women. I just did a video last month about a man out of New Jersey who scammed many women out of millions of dollars over the course of like 4 years. All of his victims were black women. Do you see where I'm going here with this? Black women, what they are literally telling you is that y'all are easy to fool. And what they're also saying is that many of you, because they feel that you're not high on the dating market or the dating pool, that it's very easy to get something out of you, whether it's what's between your legs or what is in your bank account. But this one and let me not forget about the Sperminator. That one right there. I thought he was at the hype until I thought about this one. The Sperminator out of New York, that white guy who's literally in a bathroom or in an alleyway somewhere, literally impregnating all these black women, and some of them not even asking for child support. Let that have been a black man to do that. We already know what would happen. But this one right here takes the cake because he gave these women a STD. They probably don't even know they have it until they started coughing one day and said, hold up, why am I coughing like that? Why is my discharge looking like this? And then if they don't know they have it, they could probably go out there and sleep with some other random dude. It could be a black man, and then he might end up getting it and wonder how in the hell did that happen? So while this man was reckless with what he did, those women that he infected with that, many of them were pretty much consenting adults and allowed this to happen to them because they wanted to just go around and apparently sleep with a white guy that day. And it doesn't even have anything to do with the guy just being white. It's the fact that you were being reckless with your vagina. And then got the nerve to talk about niggas ain't shit. No, those bitches ain't shit. Especially if they have something and they don't tell nobody. If you look at those stats for who has the stat rates for who is the biggest carrier of HIV, when you look at what this guy did, it's going to go right back to the women. A lot of people think it's coming from most likely probably homosexual black men. But when you look at something like this guy was able to infect 600 black women with HIV. Notice I said 600 plus because it's more than 600, but probably less than 7. That's a lot of people. One is a lot, but 600? That is crazy. When I heard about this, I said, yeah, this needs to be talked about. This needs to be spoken about. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave a link to Reese live stream about this and to Pharaoh Speaks commentary on it as well, because I think they are the only two that I've heard from so far that have spoken about this. More need to speak up about it because this is insanity. Now I know, and the crazy thing about it is, I'm going to have some people that's going to come into my comment section and say that they're not surprised that this actually happened and then go on their rant and rhetoric about whatever it is that they want. This right here is going to give ammunition to people like you know who, and I'm not going to say their names, but you already know who I'm talking about, to go in on you even more. This is inexcusable on all fronts, to be quite honest. This guy knew what he was doing, but at the same time, those women that slept with this man and didn't vet him, now you're stuck with something for the rest of your life you won't be able to get rid of. And if they can't deal with that, let's just say the suicide rate amongst black women is going to go way up. But this guy literally turned himself into I'm trying to get it right, a biological weapon of mass destruction. He should definitely be brought up on attempted murder charges for real. But this guy apparently has a history. Now, I just spent almost the last 10 minutes talking about that part, but there is also more additional information coming out about this guy that should have had his ass in jail a long time ago. Now, according to this article coming from WMBF News, they said that this man is also wanted on human trafficking charges of minors. I wouldn't be surprised if the minors happen to be black girls, because apparently he has a target. I'm gonna go ahead and read this article. It says newly released arrest warrants are shedding light on a man charged in connection to a Florence County human trafficking case. Jason Roger Pope, age 42, was arrested on August 29th and is charged with 3 counts of trafficking in persons, 3 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct, and 1 count each of second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor, promoting prostitution of a minor, and kidnapping. Arrest warrants indicate between July 2017 and July 2019, Pope forced 4 minor girls to perform sex acts for money at a home in Lakeview Drive in Florence County. Investigators allege Pope engaged in sex acts with these 4 minors. Between September 27, 2017 and December 13, 2017, Pope forced a 16-year-old to engage in commercial sex acts, according to arrest warrants. Authorities say Pope threatened the victim, identified as J.H., to perform further sexual acts for money and other things of value. According to arrest warrants, between July 1st, 2018 and September 1st, 2019, Pope sexually assaulted a 16-year-old identified as A.B. Pope is accused of paying the victim for sex acts. Around July 7th, 2019, Pope allegedly sexually assaulted a 14-year-old identified as SM. Warrants state again Pope paid the victim for sex acts. According to arrest warrants, between July 1st, 2019 and July 30th, 2019, authorities learned through social media that Pope solicited a 17-year-old identified as TC for commercial sex acts, and the victim received money and other things of value from Pope. Now, mind you, all these people are under the age of 18. And it has been going on for the span of the last 2 years. And they just got him this year. Now, also keep in mind of what I mentioned earlier in the first half of this video. This man has been walking around with this disease for God knows how long, and has been exposing it to so many people. Now, when it comes to the minors, it's like you feel bad, but you don't feel bad because they are, again, at an age where they should know better. But at the end of the day, they're still minors. As for those other 600 right there that I mentioned, I can't really say I feel too bad. It says an incident report from the Florence County Sheriff's Office states that in December 2011, deputies responded to a local hospital for a sexual misconduct call. A 13-year-old girl told deputies that she had sex with Pope and later found out he had AIDS. The report states the child's friend introduced her to Pope, who allegedly gave the minor marijuana and alcohol. So this was dated back to 2011. So this man has been living with AIDS for years. It's not like he just contracted it. He's been living with AIDS for years and has been knowingly having unprotected sex with not only adults, but with minors and exposing them to the disease. And like I said, his targets are black females. And I can't help but wonder the reason why he kept getting away with it is because the females were black. Because let them have been white. Oh, with one encounter, they would have got him. It says, according to the report, Pope took a second victim to his home on Lakeview Drive and had sex with her as well. At the time, police said the minors identified Pope's home and his license plate number. The second victim says she was sexually assaulted on Thanksgiving, and she too became concerned that she contracted AIDS. One neighbor who didn't want to be identified told WNBF News he suspected something was up a long time ago. Seeing who he had next door, these young girls, they looked like they were very young, underage maybe, and they stayed over after some, and then they disappear. Additionally, documents show Pope was charged with 2 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor in 2018. However, he pled guilty to a lesser charge of 2 counts of cruelty to children. On Monday, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division said authorities believe additional potential victims or individuals who may be aware of more crimes associated with Pope's case may still be out there. Pope remains behind bars at the Florence County Detention Center. Bond has been denied on all of his charges. Well, that's good to know, but at the same time, the guy still exposed a lot of people to he literally gave them a death sentence. But like I said, at the same time, when it comes to that first half of that video, those were all consenting adults as far as we know. And they allowed this man to fuck them, and they contracted AIDS or HIV. Now that's something that's a bit of regret that they're going to have to live with for the rest. Sorry about that, but that is a bit of regret they are going to have to live with for the rest of their life. And I hope that they tell whoever they plan on having any kind of sexual encounter with that they have been exposed to this illness. It's going to get to the point where now, before you go on any date anywhere else, we're going to have to take a date to the clinic. We are going to take a date to the clinic. We are going to find out our status before we go any further. What shouldn't even be required to be as a date in this day and age. It should just be the standard, the norm at this point. But 600. But I'm going to leave a link to Tariq's video and as well as Pharaoh Speaks video, because they both spoke about it. And I said, I have to weigh in on this one right here, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you can't even laugh at this. Really, you can't. Because this is a very serious matter at the end of the day. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.